Dear students, in this chapter, we learn reported speech. Please remember, this is one of the important chapters for you. There will be a question for 5 marks on this topic. You must be thorough with this. Every time you write answers, a short answer or a long answer, maybe an answer for 4 marks or 6 marks. Whatever you write, you have to write it in a reported speech in your answers. You can't use the direct sentences you have in your textbook while answering the questions. So, it is very important to learn reported speech properly. Let us go step by step. Dear students, turn page number 24 in your workbook. This is also a long chapter. I am going to have about 4 to 5 episodes on this topic. In this first episode of reported speech, I will be giving you the examples, rules, or transforming the direct sentences into indirect speech or reported speech. We also look into the changes that take place in transforming these sentences. You must have the knowledge of tenses here. Reported speech is very useful and a must to learn. In the next episode, maybe 1 or 2 more episodes after this, I'll be discussing the text. We will take up a workbook and go through thoroughly. Okay? Let us begin then. Reported speech, meaning and use. If someone tells you something and you want to tell another person the same thing, you can report it in 2 ways. I tell you that there is a class today, then you want to communicate this to another person. So you can say it in 2 ways. One direct and another is reported speech. There is a class today, I pass it on to you, and you have to tell the another person. How can you really do it? In 2 different ways, 2 ways, direct or indirect speech. In direct speech, we use quotation marks. Prashant said, you have a class today. Prashant said, comma, inverted comma, you have a class today. You want to communicate this to another person. So you can say as it is in the direct speech, or you can report it. Let us see with the examples. I am hungry. You can see it is in a quotation mark. I love chicken sandwiches. Once again, it is in quotation mark. We can also use a reporting verb to show who was speaking. Here, we don't know who was speaking. I am hungry. You don't know who was speaking. I love chicken sandwiches. You don't know who was speaking. But these were spoken by somebody because there is a quotation mark. So you can rewrite in this way. He says, comma, inverted comma, I am hungry. She tells me, comma, inverted comma, there is a colon or comma can also be used. I love chicken sandwiches. So in these two sentences, dear students, says and tells, he says, she tells, these are called reporting verbs. It's very important to know this, because you have to transform the sentences based on the reporting verb we have. Say and tell, when to use? Say and tell are both reporting verbs here in these sentences. We use tell when we say who we are speaking to. When we say who we are speaking to. We use say when we are not sure whom we are speaking to or not mentioned whom we are speaking to. Tell is used. He told me. Remember, always there should be an object after tell or told is used. He told me. You can't say he says me. He says. That's all. He told. Wrong. He told. Wrong. They told. She told. This is wrong. She told me. They told me. He told her. She told him. So there has to be an object after that. You remember this. That's the reason why you can't say he says me. He said me. No, that's wrong. Okay. In these two sentences, let us come back. He says, I am hungry. She tells me, I love chicken sandwiches. These are in direct speech. She tells me she loves chicken. The speaker is talking to me here. This is correct. She says she loves chicken sandwiches. We don't know who the speaker is talking to. So says is used. This is correct. But what is wrong if you say this way? She says me she loves chicken sandwiches is wrong. She said to me, you can say, she said to me she loves chicken. So dear students, this is a reported speech. Direct speech and indirect speech. We are focusing more on indirect speech or reported speech, or transforming the direct speeches into indirect speech. That is the topic of the day. There are so many changes that are taking place, that will take place when you transform the direct speech into indirect speech. For example, we'll take up the same examples throughout to make it convenient and easily rememberable to you. If the reporting verb is in the present tense, I told you already what is reporting verb. He says, she tells me. In these sentences, says and tells. That is in the simple present form. If the reporting verb is in the present tense, then the reported statement stays in the present tense. For example, he is hungry, comma, he says. Look at the reporting verb here, he says. She tells me, I love chicken sandwiches. What is the reporting verb here? Tells. So let us transform this into reported speech. He says he is hungry. She tells me she loves chicken sandwiches. If the reporting verb is in the past tense, usually we change the present form to past form in the reported speech. If the reporting verb is in the past tense, we usually change the present form to a past form in a reported speech. But here, in these sentences, we have reporting verb in a present tense. So there is no change that has taken place. Yes, students. Same sentence we will see. He is hungry, comma, he said. Look at the sentence here. He is hungry, he said. Reporting verb is said. Let me come back. There was a little gap here. If the reporting verb is in the past tense, we usually change the present form to a past form in the reported speech. What I mean, he is hungry, he said. Reporting verb is said. She told me, I love chicken sandwiches. She told me. So, reporting verbs here, said and told. Let us put it in a reported speech. He said he was hungry. He said he was hungry. Why was? There is always a change in the tense depending upon the reporting verb, or there is a corresponding verb change. I will explain with all the different tenses and sentences related to that. We saw simple present, now we see simple past. He said he was hungry. He is hungry. Is becomes was here. She told me, I love chicken sandwiches. I love. Love is the verb. Told me. Told is a reporting verb is the past tense. She told me she loved chicken sandwiches. So present becomes past. Simple present becomes simple past. This is the change that takes place. If the reporting verb is in past tense, the reported speech changes into corresponding tense. She told me she loved chicken sandwiches. Love, loved. Is, was. Is hungry, was hungry. We change the pronoun also when the speaker or listener changes. When the speaker or listener changes, we change the pronoun also. For example, a boy tells his mother, I am hungry. A boy tells his mother, I am hungry. Reporting verb, remember the reporting verb? Later, the boy's mother tells the father. Later, we'll change that into reported speech. Later, the boy's mother tells the father, he said he was hungry. The boy tells his mother, I am hungry. Father might have asked what was the matter. boy's mother tells the father, he said he was hungry. I am hungry. Am changed into was. He, I is changed into he. Corresponding pronoun. Corresponding pronoun, you must remember, it should be a replacement to it. So, we can use that. He said that he was hungry, or we can avoid it. We can also miss it out, and the meaning is the same. That will not change. He said that he was hungry. He said he was hungry. You can use in both ways. She told me that she loved chicken sandwiches, or you can say she told me she loved chicken sandwiches. Yes, students, what is the form? What is the form? You must remember. In a reported speech, we usually use the direct speech verb one step back in the past tense. I repeat that. In a reported speech, we usually move the direct speech verb one step back in the past tense. One step back in the sense present, past. Present continuous, past continuous. Present perfect, past perfect. One step back. In a reported speech, we usually move the direct speech verb, reporting verb. Depending upon that, we change the reported speech. And in the reported speech or in the direct speech, what is the tense? There is a corresponding tense change that takes place there as well. For example, present simple and past simple. Present simple is turned into past simple or changed into past simple. I know you. I know you. I know you. Know is the verb in a simple present here. She said she knew me. I know you, comma, she said. I know you, comma, she said. You can change it in that way. I know you, comma, she said. She said she knew me. She knew him. Sorry, she said she knew him. You. Look at the changes that take place here. Know becomes new. Simple present, simple past. And corresponding pronoun change. She said, I, she, replacement. You, him, replacement. The second one. All of you please go through this thoroughly. Learn this thoroughly. This corresponding changes in tense and pronoun is very important. Okay. So let us take up the next step. Present continuous is changed into past continuous. I am drinking coffee. He said he was drinking coffee. I am drinking coffee. He said, comma, I am drinking coffee. He said he was drinking coffee. The third one. Present perfect is changed into past perfect. He said, comma, I have finished my homework. He said, comma, I have finished my homework. He said he had finished his homework. Have finished, present perfect. Had finished, past perfect. Then, present perfect continuous is changed into past perfect continuous. She said, comma, inverted comma, I have been studying Chinese. She said she had been studying Chinese. You can use any other language of your choice, Japanese, German, whatever. So I have been studying, have been studying is a present perfect continuous tense is changed into past perfect continuous tense. Dear students, is going to likewise is changed into was going to. I am going to go home, she said. She said she was going to go home. Let us see how the future present simple is changed. I will go to the bank later, she said. She would go to the bank later. Will becomes would. Dear students, let us come back. Simple present becomes simple past. Simple past, simple present continuous becomes past continuous. Present perfect becomes past perfect. Present perfect continuous becomes past perfect continuous. Corresponding tense changes, corresponding pronoun changes that take place in a reporting a direct speech. Then let us see another thing here. A reported statement in the past simple often stays the same. I drove to work. She said she drove to work. Because you can't go further back in the tense time. You can further go back in the time than the past perfect. So it says the same. It stays the same too. I had driven to work. She said she had driven to work. You can't further go back to past perfect. There is no time beyond that. So modal verbs. Modal verbs. Next we'll see modal verbs. Can becomes could. Will becomes would. May become might. Must is changed into had to. In my next episode, when I discuss the workbook activities with you, I will discuss in detail what changes into what. Because you have all the things listed in your workbook, and that will be very useful. So dear students, this is a direct and indirect speech episode. We have a lot of things to see here. How to change an interrogative sentence into reported speech. How to transform an exclamatory sentence. What are the pronoun changes, tense changes that take place. How to frame or how to transform the positive sentences and how to transform the negative sentences into indirect speech. How to transform the question forms or question sentences. So, what are the rules for the facts and the general truths? Do we change them into corresponding tenses or pronouns? What are the verb changes? What are the reporting verbs and substitute reporting verbs we must use? Dear students, we see all of them in our next episode on indirect speech or reported speech.